Hello, and welcome to another edition of Day Drinking with Kevin. I'm your host, Kevin McGuire. What would cause somebody with a PhD in evolutionary biology to give all that up and start her own empanada empire? Today's guest is Margarita Womack, owner and proprietor of Maspanadas. She has a very unique story about how she got into the empanada business, and she has challenged me to pair 3 wines with 3 of her most popular products. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. Margarita, thank you so much for taking the time to come to talk with us today. I was very excited about the challenge of pairing wines with empanadas. And tell us a little bit about the story about how these empanadas came to be.
So it's not quite the story. The full story is not what you'll read in the back of the package.
Okay.
There's always more detail, right, than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm originally Colombian, came to the US about 20 years ago, so I've been here half my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I came because FARC, one of the main guerrilla groups in Colombia, was trying to extort my family. So it became too dangerous for us to be in Colombia. And so I came to finish my undergrad at Tulane University. And it's all good when you're young. I'm free, I'm independent, I'm strong, I can do it all on my own. But then you have children, and that really changes things. And I have 3 little boys.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And when the second one was born, I had a friend of the family come and stay with us for a couple of months and help out. And she came again for the third, spent with us 6 months. And at that point, she wanted to try to stay in the US.
Okay.
And I was more than happy to entertain the idea of having her around. And so we started looking at ways to get her a visa. And turns out that there's a deal with a number of countries that if you invest in the US, if you start a business in the US and you require essential personnel from your home country, there's a special type of visa.
Oh, okay.
So, hey, well, I have a nice kitchen in my house. Let's just do a modern Latin American catering out of my kitchen, and we'll cater to friends and neighbors, and there we got a business, and we'll get you a visa.
Okay.
It's, of course, more complicated than that.
Absolutely.
To get the proper licenses and permits, etc. So we started out of Union Kitchen, an incubator kitchen in DC, and we got things rolling. We discovered really quick that the empanadas were the most popular item, and that there really was much more potential in doing them as a frozen item available in retail or food service. At that point, though, regulations for those visas changed. And we were not able to get her the visa. She had to go back to Colombia. But this was kind of already going, and I was loving it. So much potential in something you can customize, that it's handheld, right? Any kind of ingredients, you can make it as clean, as healthy as you want, and can be an appetizer, can be a snack, can be part of a meal. And so here I am now, almost 4 years later, after starting the business. And we are growing our retail side, our food service side, and even do private label.
So tell us about the empanadas you brought us today.
So we have 3 flavors today. They're some of our most popular flavors. So we have a Florentine, that's spinach, mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, and some cheese. Then the beef and the chicken are responsible for over 50% of our sales.
Wow.
It's a ground beef, vegetables, sauteed vegetables, a little bit of cheese. And then we have chicken, chicken thighs, also vegetables, garlic, and all have, of course. While we still have a lot of the Hispanic taste, these have been elevated, modernized for the American palate.
Well, they look absolutely delicious. And one of the challenges that I had today was pairing wines with each of these delicious empanadas. So let's talk about the Florentine one first. I just have to be able to dig in, if that's okay.
Absolutely, go for it.
So with the Florentine, with the spinach and cheese, one of the things that I wanted to pair with this particular empanada was a California Chardonnay. And one of the reasons that I picked Chardonnay was because it has a little bit of creaminess to it that will match with the cheese, and it's not going to overpower kind of the light, delicate flavors in the empanada. So when we're doing a wine tasting, what I want you to do is actually try the wine first, and then the empanada, and then the wine again. And hopefully you'll see how the wine originally tasted, and then how the wine and the food kind of paired together. So just kind of like this. Guys, this is why we call this Day Drinking with Kevin. So cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I really love how light and delicate these are, and yet so packed with flavor. You did an amazing job of concentrating so much flavor into a little bit of the packet. And the wine itself, I said it's creamy because it goes through a process called malolactic fermentation. It has a little bit of hint of oak, but we didn't want to overwhelm the empanada with a big oaky Chardonnay here. So this is kind of light, and I actually think great on a nice hot summer day when you're entertaining guests and you have, as you said, either an appetizer or kind of a first course. I think this pairing would go very, very well.
I like the wine a lot, and yes, it really highlights sort of the little bit of garlic in it, and you still get the spinach without the wine being overwhelming.
Spinach is a very hard vegetable to pair with. It's kind of like kale and artichoke and asparagus, but if you pair a wine that's not too bitter and has a little bit of creaminess to it, it goes with those leafy green vegetables. So for you day drinkers out there that are finding it hard to pair with certain vegetables, try California Chardonnay. Ask your sommelier to give you something that is a little more on the buttery side and less on the oaky side, and I think it will go perfect just like this one.
Excellent.
How many empanadas can you produce a month?
So right now, we can do a month about 40,000 empanadas without pushing hard. That's with one shift and a small crowd. But right now we're ramping up because we have some large contracts coming up. And so we should be having we need to make about 400, 500,000 a month.
So that's almost 10 times what you're making now.
Yeah.
How are you looking for investors or other people to kind of help you ramp up your growth?
Exactly, because it's really exploding right now, and our facility can hold us probably just till the end of this year. With the way we are growing, we expect we're projecting sales for almost $3.5 million this year.
Wow.
So we're moving to a new facility, and so we're building out this facility, and also growing a brand is really capital intensive. So we're doing a race to be able to grow our operations and also have the marketing to support the growth of the brand. And there's a social side also to having, it's unusual for a consumer packaged goods brand to do their own manufacturing. For us, it's key because it allows us to support a number of employees, mostly immigrant Hispanic women.
Okay.
And we support them not just with the job, with fair pay and some benefits, but aspects such as childcare, language development, professional development. So owning that manufacturing, having that capacity is key for that.
Fantastic. So let's try our chicken empanada next. For this empanada, what I chose was a wine from the Loire Valley called Vouvray. Vouvray's main grape is Chenin Blanc. And the Loire Valley is a very cool area in France, and so these wines tend to be very crisp and acidic, and I think will actually go very well with the chicken empanada. So again, kind of same routine: wine, empanada, and then wine. That is really good. What are some of the spices in here?
So some traditional Hispanic spices. So there's a lot of cumin, paprika, garlic salt, and that's pretty much it. Black pepper. It's very simple ingredients overall. It's what you would find in your homemade meal.
Simple, but very packed with flavor. And I understand you brought some chimichurri sauce for us as well. Is this something else that you sell?
Yes, so we make the chimichurri sauce. It's something we started doing also as consumer packaged goods recently, and it's taking off.
Oh, fantastic. I'm just going to try some in here. And try it again with the wine.
I like the sweetness in this one. It goes very well with that. It brings the earthiness of the empanada.
Yeah, it has just a little bit of residual sugar, which some Vouvrays tend to have. And I really thought with the spiciness of the chicken empanada, that kind of helps balance things out a little bit. And that's the point when you're doing food and wine pairings, is not to have one overpower the other, but for them to kind of sing in a shoot of music where everybody's in harmony with one another. And I really do like how this pairing goes. So I first saw you on QVC. Late one night, I had been up and I was looking for something to watch, and I saw Empanadas come up on QVC, and they sold out in record time. Where else can I buy your empanadas other than QVC?
So you can buy our empanadas online. We have a small e-commerce site.
Okay.
But also you can find us across the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast right now, and later this summer we'll be growing some more. But we are at Whole Foods, we are at Mom's Organic, you can find us on Giant online, and a number of independent stores across the states in the Atlantic and Northeast.
Fantastic. And in addition to moving to the new facility and expanding your capacity by 10 times, what other kinds of plans do you have for the future for your business?
So I expect to reach nationwide level with my brand, but also launch other kinds of products that have the same pillars of taste, convenience, but also nutrition, that have also that Latin American soul to them. So the sauce is the second one, but have several others in mind. Take advantage that we own our manufacturing and be able to maybe be something like the next Goya.
Fantastic. Day drinkers, these empanadas are freaking amazing, and by the time this video is out, you may not be able to find these at some of your locations because there will be a run on them, kind of like the gas when the pipeline shut down. But I really, really appreciate the compact flavors, and as you said, they're kind of like a meal all into themselves.
That's the idea.
Our last empanada is the beef empanada, and for that I chose a traditional Argentinian Malbec, but in this particular blend it's a Malbec and Merlot blend. And the Merlot gives a little bit more fruitiness and a little bit more softness, which I thought would pair with the spices with the empanada. So let's see how I did. I like it. I think the beef one is got that rich flavor to it, and it definitely pairs with all of the flavorings on the inside. What do you think about the pairing?
The smokiness here really enhances the beef, the umami that goes on in there.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You know, I think that you know, my day drinkers are probably sitting there picturing me in a gaucho outfit, kind of on the plains in Argentina, you know, catching my dinner for the evening, and you cook it over an open fire and you get that kind of smokiness to it, and I think that the wines tend to pair very well with flavors that have a similar profile. And there's no question that this wine pairs perfectly with this empanada.
I'm sure that the inspiration for this beef empanada is the traditional Argentinian empanada too. So
wow, fantastic. So Margarita, my 20-year-old son just came home from college, and I've been suffering through the fact that I've been homeschooling kids for the last 14 months. And one of the things as a parent I'm struggling with is always having quick, ready-to-eat meals for the kids whenever they need them. And it's not always at a planned time. Sometimes it's right before lacrosse practice, or it's right after a science project or something. I see these empanadas as an excellent way for parents to always have something delicious and healthy for the kids whenever it needs to happen.
exactly, that's really the driver behind this product. I was with a catering company keeping these in my freezer with my 3 boys. Something's always going on, somebody's always hungry, and you never have time to get something ready before the soccer game, or now especially so difficult having so many meals at home, and something you can feel good about feeding yourself, your children, but it's not taking so much of your time. So these are perfect for those occasions. So it's something like, hey, some friends showed up unannounced, maybe in the future we'll get hopeful that as things change, then it's something you throw in the oven, a few minutes, share with your friends. A kid is hungry right before you step out to get to the next practice. Like, hey, you can take this in the car with you. The little ones, they're microwavable.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
yeah, you don't need any utensils. They don't make any mess. So easy, and yet it's real food. These are our 3 most popular flavors, but we also have flavors that are good for anyone and everyone, so that fit many dietary needs. So we're launching a gluten-free option, for instance, inspired in Dominican empanadas. Then we have plant-based ones also for those that are not meat eaters. So we're really something that can be fit to anyone and many different needs. So something you should keep in your freezer, because you never know.
And in addition to the chicken and beef and Florentine empanadas, what other flavors do you have?
So we have a full-on veggie one that's kind of a hybrid between an empanada and like a spring roll.
Okay.
Then we also have a Margarita Pizza one.
Ooh.
So very cheesy deliciousness. And we're revamping the recipe now, and so we're adding more veggies. So if you're one of those parents that have children that don't really want to eat veggies and love the idea of pizza, this tastes like pizza, but it's actually loaded with vegetables.
Okay.
So that will be our new recipe launching soon. And then those are so the 5 flavors on shelves right now: the chicken, the beef, the Florentine, veggie, and Margarita Pizza. But we also have seasonal ones, and that we've done for QVC, so mac and cheese empanadas.
Wow.
We do a burger empanadas this summer. We've done a Cuban sandwich empanada, and then we have sweet ones that come up here and there. So there's a guava and cheese, also a very traditional combination for Latin America. Nutella banana.
Oh,
very good.
Nutella banana. Okay.
Yeah.
And businesses nowadays are not necessarily going out to eat anymore for those business lunches or whatever. And I would think that being able to have these empanadas in an office where everybody can still get together and socialize without having to go out to a restaurant or something might be an excellent way to build that camaraderie within the business.
Absolutely. So they're great at home for the children, for the family needs, but really in the office, you have a little freezer, keep them in there. And hey, you have a very busy day, you don't have time to step away from your desk to go find lunch. It's something you put in the microwave and you go back to your desk and keep on working and have it. Or share with friends over a little break, right, over your co-workers in the kitchen. It's really easy, simple, and it's real food that's gonna be satisfying, you're gonna feel good about, because it's really full of it's nutrient dense. In fact, we looked at the chicken empanadas, they have 17 out of the 19 micronutrients you need.
Wow.
High in protein.
Okay.
So it's really something that's good for you, and that is just convenient and delicious.
I would think that these empanadas make a great social way of bringing friends together for summertime parties like 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend, or just whenever you want to have friends to the house.
Exactly. They make great finger foods while you're waiting for the grill to kick on. It can be also something very good for the kids while they're running around, can keep them still. It's something that matches really well with any kind of summer menu. So something convenient that you keep there for when you need it, or if you plan ahead and have it ready, something that's fun to share, sit around the table, grab, eat, chat, of course, pair with delicious wine, and you're golden.
And for those business people out there, if you do decide to pair the empanadas with the wines, that even makes work that much more fun.
Very true.
So we had our Florentine empanada with the California Chardonnay. We had the chicken empanada with the Vouvray from the Loire Valley, which features a grape called Chenin Blanc. And we had the beef empanada with the Argentinian Malbec and Merlot blend. So how'd I do with the pairings?
I think that was really insightful. without having tried the empanadas beforehand, I'm very impressed at what a good pairing that was.
Fantastic. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today and share all the wonderful information about your empanadas and the incredible story that you achieved your empanada empire in 4 short years, which is just amazing. And they are absolutely delicious. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience before we sign off today?
Can't really think of anything other than try empanadas and reach out if you want to talk anything empanada. Always there.
Well, if you like this episode, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Day Drinking with Kevin. And if you have ideas for future episodes, please email me at daydrinkingwithkevin@gmail.com. With Maspanadas, I say cheers.
Cheers.
And salute.